Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 2 of the Nerdy Football Lads podcast. Myself, Kev, and Brandon here with me. Brandon, how you doing, mate?
Again, guys?
Yeah. This week we've got a new concept. We've got a special guest in.
We do. Nick Nige.
Yeah, Mr. Nick Weston. Long-time friend of Brandon's, middle to long-time friend of mine. He's our football coach. He's been around the game for a long time, though, hasn't he? 30, 40 years or so.
Aye.
Yep, former player, coach, GB coach, actually.
He was, yeah.
With our team, Border City, up here in Carlisle, he's took us to back-to-back
playoffs.
Back-to-back playoffs, which rookie team, not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Yep, a guy that knows all about it. We're going to be looking into wide receivers because we've done quarterbacks last week.
We are.
And we're going to be looking at division
predictions again.
There we go. You're finishing my sentences again.
Just like.
Yeah, so last week I think we've done North. We're going to be looking at the South divisions this week. And as always, we're going to be looking at all the news, all the current goings on in the NFL, and we're going to be looking at pre-season week 1.
There's been a few changes, hasn't there?
Yeah. I'm interested in looking at the rookie QBs this week. So we got to see the rookie QBs going at it for the first time last week. So I'm really looking forward to having a look at what they've got. But because I missed this in the first attempt of recording this. Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Yeah, I mean it's a better background than it was last week. We had to pay a bit of a fortune to get on the halfway line, but here we are in AT&T.
Nah, Jerry gave us a good deal.
Yeah, he did. Just to be clear, we're not actually at AT&T Stadium.
You have to ruin it, don't you?
I don't know if you have to say that you're not. If you're not, obviously we're not. But it looks far better for the guys that are watching on video. You guys that complain that we're not on Spotify. We are now on Spotify, and you won't be able to see any of this. But without further ado, should we get Nick in?
Let's get Nick Nige in.
Yeah, let's go, Nick. Come on then, mate. Right, Mr. Nick Weston. Welcome to the Nerdy Football Lads podcast. How are you, mate?
Oh, very good, and thanks very much for having me on. Do you have subtitles running at the bottom for the Scottish accent?
Unfortunately not, no.
All right, okay.
I mean, it's just not worth the time to try and figure out what you're saying and then put it all into text, mate. So they'll just have to do what we're doing and figure it out.
We'll just put the little bang, crash, screeching sounds underneath.
Yeah, no, it cuts both ways. I'm just smelling at you guys going, yeah. It's like, you're speaking of... Okay, right. I mean, one of you is a Patriots fan, the other one's a Cowboys fan. You're already speaking a foreign language in terms of,
easy,
where we're at here.
Easy.
So,
you have one good season.
One good season in years.
Well, it's funny that we talk about one good season because obviously the video watchers will know, but anyone on Spotify won't know. Nick's wearing his Detroit Lions cap.
He is
He's in fact a Detroit Lions fan. Nick,
avid one.
It's a long time of suffering, mate, but how did you get into that all them years ago?
Well, like a long time ago, we're talking, okay, so probably before you were born, definitely before you were born. The fear is whether or not it's before your parents were born. It was the summer of 1985.
Oh.
And it was a wonderful time. I had a BMX. I was living the dream. Yeah, I think Top Gun had come out by then. Had the original cassette recorder, doing my paper out every morning. And the wonderful thing that is the NFL invaded my life. It was on Channel 4 on Sunday nights. Everyone who's of a certain age, everyone who's in their 50s, remembers Sunday night Channel 4 NFL 6 o'clock until 7:15. Amazing. I mean, it was just amazing. It was like nothing else anyone had seen. Games were also a week behind because they get the rights to tape and all that in America, but you wouldn't know the score anyway because there was no internet. So it was like literally waiting for one newspaper called First Down that came out on a Thursday, and if you could resist looking at it, then the Sunday you could watch the game. They're already almost a week old. So anyway, I get mad into this game. Everyone else does too. Set up my own team in the backyard. Me and the kids from around the block. We get a football. We have formations, plays, plans one day to be incredible football teams and be in the NFL, kid stuff. And about the same time, a great love affair in my life with Motown music collided. And I thought, this is really good. If again anyone is of a certain age, they'll remember Levi's adverts at that time used loads of really big bangers from Motown, like Heard It Through the Grapevine and all that. So I made this mental connection, right, that Motown, Detroit, must therefore undoubtedly be the coolest place in the whole of America you could possibly imagine. And see, that was my first mistake.
I mean, there's worse reasons to support teams. We were talking about the Patriots last week in episode 1, and Brandon mentioned initially liking them because it had England in the name.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, that's one of the reasons I like them. So there's far worse reasons
there is.
than something cool like that, man.
I know, but yours is even worse than mine because the Boston Tea Party in New England was literally kicking you all out. So it's like, wow, you picked a team that really hates you.
Well, I mean, it is true, but I like to think that it was meant to be for me because I'm a massive history nerd anyways. And this is one of the things that I'm trying to sell Louise on, my wife, for those that don't know, is because I really want to go to Boston. And I'm saying, no, there's lots of history around, and there's loads to do. There's the Boston Tea Party and things like that. And I'm big into stuff like that, anyways. So I feel like it was a marriage that was meant to be. But yeah, it's.
That's it. So in a nutshell, Detroit, love Detroit, loyal as anything. Like any good British person, I think. Our greatest fault is that we have undying loyalty. I like to think you meet the occasional person who tells you, "Oh yeah, my 7th favorite NFL team is XYZ," and you're like, "Really? You can't have 7 teams. You can be a completely neutral fan if you want. Be my guest.
Yeah.
Like buy a game trip for every single team. Love the game. Love the big player each year. Have fun, but don't have like a choice of your top 10 teams because that's kind of hedging your bets a little bit too much, right?
No.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon play Madden together now, and we started playing it on last year's Madden, and that was the first time I had ever been a team that wasn't the Patriots on Madden. Was when we started a new career. We picked like random teams, and I got the Panthers, and that was the first time I'd ever not been the Patriots on a Madden.
Yep, one of those things. He always has to be the Patriots.
Are you telling me that you used last year's Madden to decode how the Panthers play so that just in week 1 of this year, the Patriots could get their only win of the entire season against the Panthers because you just studied their playbook and then called the guys in Boston?
Well, I would love to confirm or deny, Nick, but we're going to go into that game a little bit later on because we're going to be talking about rookie quarterbacks.
We are.
And one that happens to play for the Patriots was amazing. But back onto you, Nick.
And one maybe wasn't.
So, one maybe wasn't. So, great reason to support your team. I think that's awesome, and I didn't expect anything like that.
Neither did I.
So, who's your favourite player of all time? Because, yes, you've seen some fairly poor teams, but you've seen some pretty decent players.
Yeah, I mean, there is, and you got to put a player in the context of the era of the game that they're living in. Now we're living in a highly athletic era. So like you're looking for like really unbelievably mad out of the world stats and things. But then again, back in the day, players had slightly longer careers on occasion. So you think about people like Jerry Rice, who you're never going to ever get his all-time record because you need to literally play for like, I don't know, a quarter of a century. Do you know what I mean? Without, it's just, that's insane. It is difficult. It's a really difficult one to put in context. It is a question I think everyone has to answer within themselves. I probably have different players from the past that I would like. Obviously, Barry Sanders. If you're a Lions fan and you don't like Barry Sanders, you didn't really get it.
Yeah.
The Megatron. You could go on about that for hours. Matt Stafford, still weep for him every single night. Still find myself crying on a weekly basis. It gets emotional, but I've moved on, and Gerard's my guy. And like small steps, but we're getting there. He's not broke me yet. But I think if you had to think about it, I'd have to. Now this is probably going a little bit more into football than necessary, but I think if we go back to like the classic eras of the 70s, and you got your Terry Bradshaws and people like that. Now these are people who. So when I was a kid and people used to talk about back in the good old days, they were talking about 10 years before that. So you were like, no, but you were looking at that. Joe Namath, people like that who were playing football. So you're actually seeing like footage of these guys and it was still fresh enough to not feel totally cringy like it does now when you look at a silver kind of tape. But I think Joe, because I think, and so this is Jets quarterback, right? Namath, brilliant. I think because he was an absolute reprobate. And there's a famous story about a game. I think it was a famous playoff game against Miami Dolphins. and he was smashed out of his face until the fourth quarter, and then sobered up and suddenly won the game. And people had like bet their entire life against him winning the game, who'd seen the state he was going into, things like that. And you think about a football player like that, and you think, that's ridiculous, because we know the amount of effort that goes into maintaining ourselves and performing at a level and all. You look after yourself, you care for yourself, you train, you effort. But these guys were just kind of doing it with almost like a packet of cigarettes in the back pocket. But being the undeniable Lions fan I am, which gives me incredibly short memory, because every single year I swear we're going to win the Super Bowl, and I have done for 35 years. And I swear I have to rip the plug right off, and I have to tell you right now, the greatest player in the world is in fact Hutchinson. I've decided based on the basis of 2 years, I've decided I'm going to write off all of history of the NFL, and I'm going to declare him now to be the greatest player of all time. And yes, that's short-sighted, and yes, that's narrow-minded, and I expect people to be switching off right now. But as a true Lions fan, if you don't understand that, if you don't have a short-term memory as a Lions fan, you've not been a Lions fan, because you've been emotional way. Okay.
Well, you're kind of messing with the system a little bit, Nick, because the next question was going to be, who's your current favourite player? But we've kind of got to that point.
Right, okay.
Yeah, man.
Let's regress. In all honesty, let's fit it into some context here. I'm going to go right back to probably Lions. I'm going to say Barry Sanders, absolutely amazing running back. Never had a season in his career that wasn't less than 1,000 yards. Did 2,000 yards on one occasion. You don't get stats like that. He won Heisman Trophy. He was the All-American, undisputed. The guy literally did everything apart from have a successful football career, because he was wedded to the Detroit Lions. God bless him.
Well, that speaks more volumes about the player it is, though, doesn't it? When you're playing for a team that isn't as successful and you're still able to put up, Hall of Fame numbers like that kind of speaks to the player rather than the team he was in. We spoke about this last week again with the Patriots. Yes, we always had a successful team, but yes, we had the best quarterback of all time, but we never often had them, top receivers, or, we had your Gronks and Edelmans later on, but the defensive guys, yes, we had absolute studs. There's no denying that, but in terms of offensive weapons, we never really had the, Megatrons like you guys and, Sanders, you're saying. So the fact that guys like that can put up numbers that they did in the team that they're in really kind of speaks volumes, I think.
Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, that is the thing. It just, if we move off from this, though, you got Megatron as well. You take a look at that guy. I think the season the Lions went 0-16, this guy still posted over 1,300 yards. Now that's insane when you think about Amra. If you think about Amra St. Brown right now, posting 1,500 yards last season, you think, oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, you're in a winning team that's moving the offense is getting up. This guy's on a 3 and punt side. You know what I mean? He's putting up those kind of stats. We're talking about. I mean, that's just wow. Yeah, but yeah. You got to have a short memory. So as of now, Hutchinson is in fact the greatest football player who ever walked.
I was expecting some Billy Sims as well from you.
No, but Barry Sanders, I think, being in a really difficult team to be in and doing what players do like that, you just can't. You can't ever they carry a team, Speaking of players, what about CD Lamb?
Oh, I know. It's a touchy subject at the moment, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's all become quite shirty as well, hasn't it? So it's kind of,
It's giving very similar Ayuk vibes.
They have to sort that out. A guy like that shouldn't take a single year out of his career as a football player ever. He's got a gift to give to the world,
Yeah.
He's the only wide receiver I can honestly think of last year when we were playing, and we played against a lot of good teams, a lot of good wide receivers, but he was the only one who actually terrified me. The way he ran posts through the secondary, the linebacking unit, as if, just not. When you just look at a good player and just like, I would hate to try and imagine playing against a player like that.
Yeah. He just glides, doesn't he? He just glides.
He doesn't seem fast, but he's
scary.
Technical route runner.
He's a ghost. He'll vanish on you. He just seems to vanish from defenders, and then suddenly he's in the danger zone, and he's yeah.
So the big question, Nick.
Sorry.
What are the Lions going to do this year?
Ooh.
Obviously, one of the most successful seasons they've had last year. Came slightly short,
just a little bit,
with no disgrace. They played well to the very end. Do they go a step further this year or what stage did they get to this year?
Well, I think last year it's tough. Like I haven't seen a half of football that lopsided since the Patriots and the Falcons. That was really a real crash in the second half. But I think there was a great lesson in it for the team. I don't think we should have changed anything at all about how we approached that game. We would never have got that far if we hadn't have gone from fourth downs.
Yeah.
If we hadn't have played gutsy football, we wouldn't have got ourselves out of the gutter and pulled ourselves on the pavement and then pulled ourselves, in the front door of the hospital as a team if we hadn't kind of like made some risks. So I think the team will go on from that really positively. I'm putting us down to get maybe even one more win this year, definitely to win, I believe, the North. Although that's really, really tough. I mean, that's a huge statement to make, but I think it's a principle that they have to achieve this year because they have to show Green Bay, they have to show the Bears, they have to show the Vikings that last year wasn't just their year,
Yeah.
So I think that's riding on them, and I think that'll sit well with them. Should we do a complete shutout in the North? That's a big ask. You've got a lot of great teams there, and they can be their own on their own day. But I think we can, and therefore I think we can go 13. I think we can go 14. I don't want to say it too loud.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it too loud. No, but you look at the fixtures, and it's not a bad set. And the tough games tend to be to our advantage with us, and it's. I don't know. I think we're going playoffs for sure.
I agree.
And I think we learned some real tough lessons about what you do when you get to playoffs last year. Really tough lessons.
That being said, though, Nick, sorry to interrupt. One of the reasons I think you are so great to watch, and the reason that you are so successful, is because of that dangerous way of playing.
Yeah.
If you take that away, is there a chance that it completely changes the way that the game looks for the team?
Well, I think you're completely correct. It's asymmetrical. So if you think about it like any strategy, so we play football, we have plays and we have strategy. At the end of the day, if you go up against a superior force in a symmetrical format, so you play them the way they want you to play them, they're going to beat you.
Yeah.
They're going to beat you every time. You're playing to what they're good at. So what you do is you attack in an asymmetrical way. So whatever they're doing, you do it some way differently. Now you've seen that in history, military history. That's when small countries overturn big countries in the home ground. That's just asymmetrical warfare. So I think the Lions going about it the way they have, they go for it in fourth down, but don't just go for it in fourth down. Let's remember some of these calls. One of them was a fourth down and 5, and he did inside run.
Yeah.
With Montgomery. I mean, that is. Come on. I mean, that is kahunas. Another one was a fourth down and 1, and fourth down 2, he still went for made an eligible Penny Sewell, who caught in the flat. Unbelievable. A lineman wheeling out his catch. It's 42. You expect run. So it's not just the going for it, it's the way that you go for it too. It's really living by the sword. That's asymmetrical. That if the Lions play that football, they can give people a game. They can catch people. They can do things they don't expect. The problem, Kev, though, is what we've learned from last year is there's a time and a place for that, because in the second quarter of a game in San Francisco, all you had to do is actually just switch the game off.
Yeah.
You literally had to switch the game off. You go to field goals, and that's the thing that you kind of go live by the sword, die by the sword. But at the end of the day, in Dan we trust. Look at where we are. Look at where we've come from.
Yeah,
let's go for it.
And it's exciting, isn't it? I mean, maybe it isn't if you're a fan, but maybe it's more nerve-wracking if you're a fan. But you like to watch the Lions games because you know for a fact that if that situation comes up, there's a good chance they're going to go for it, and that's always exciting to watch.
Of course it is.
I was going to say before, they never hid what they were about. I'm sure week 1 last year it was the Chiefs, wasn't it? And they went for it on 4th and, what was it, 6 or 7 in their own 30 or something? It was something crazy like that. I can't remember the exact yardage, but for week 1, we're going to go for it in these situations. You're like, oh damn, this Lions team's going for it,
I think it's a really gutsy way to play football, and it suits us. But the thing, the maturity step is right. Ask yourself this question: you're Dan Campbell. You finally make it to the promised ground. So you're finally in a Super Bowl. Let's say this year, hypothetically, against the Dolphins or the Ravens. We can come back to that point if you disagree later. But let's say hypothetically, you find yourself in that dream scenario. You're in the fourth quarter. you're in a game that's close, you suddenly then say, now it's time to actually just be able to switch off all of that and just be able to close the game down in the calmest of ways. Just a field goal to put it away with 4 left on the clock.
Just being smarter, isn't it? But you learn from the mistakes, don't you? That's how you build a championship team, isn't it? You learn from those things. They were maybe just a little bit naive last year.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, there won't be a single Lions fan who watched last year and will say, I was really disappointed in the Lions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely not, and refuse to let yourself be, because if you've waited since 1991 to see a decent season, then why on earth would you ruin it by saying, "Oh, we should just get in"? All those times I was up at 3 a.m. watching us beat someone. Yeah, that's great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Anyway,
Right, final segment, Nick. I did pre-warn you, so I was just going to just chuck it right on you, but I thought, no, I'll pre-warn him. Because you don't have the benefit of having previous episodes to go up, so the guys that are going to come on in the future will know that this is a thing that we're doing. So what we're doing, we've got 5 questions, all trivia, Lions-based trivia.
Doing like a bit of trivia.
They're not too hard.
We'll see.
They're not too hard.
I think you're over, because I did say a mandatory part of being a Lions fan is a short memory. So, it's like...
it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of years, but I believe there's one that is from before your time, but I feel like it's something that you might well know. Right, so let's just go for it. Brandon, you haven't seen the questions. I'll let you play along as well if you want. Please let Nick answer first.
Okay.
Right. What is the name of the stadium? Nice and easy.
Where we play now?
Yep.
Yeah, it's easy. Ford Field.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, did you not?
No.
Oh, Ford Field, yep. 1 for 1. See? I told you it wasn't going to be too bad, was it? Who has the most passing yards all time for the Lions?
That's got to be Matt Stafford.
I'll have to agree Stafford, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it is indeed. Matthew Stafford, good job. I was kind of surprised,
I
wasn't when I see the answer, but I got Googled who's got the most passing yards. I was like, but it makes sense.
He played 168 games. The next closest guy after that has only played about 54, 75. So just a numbers alone, aside from being Matt, it's got to be.
Yeah, that makes
volume.
sense.
Yeah, volume.
All right, question 3. What's the best record the Detroit Lions have ever had?
0-16. No, sorry.
No, that's a bit underhanded, isn't it?
Oh.
Now, would you like to know how many games were in the season?
Oh, yeah, because that's it. Are we talking percentile? Or are we talking? Because in that season, give me a clue.
Right, so in that season there was 12 games.
This is really going back in time, man.
So this is Nat Train Lane era, isn't it?
It's very early.
Yeah, but this will be the original back when it was the NFL before it branched into NFC.
I think it's pre-Super Bowl.
So you'd be talking. We're not talking Portsmouth Spartans though. So we're talking like the original club back in the 30s. I hope, because I'll never get that. I'm going to have to hazard a guess. 1957.
Right, so we're after the record, mate. So 12 games, what was the record? B-Dog, would you like to hazard a guess while Nick has a little bit of a think?
10-2.
He's gone 10-2. I feel like Mark Lebeck here, sat here waiting for him to answer. I'm going to go 11-1.
Nick is 3 for 3.
Ooh!
10-2. Would you want another year? 1953.
Oh, jeez.
Now, again, I don't know if it was the Detroit Lions then. I googled what was the best record they've had. 10-2. There you go, 3-3. What was the name of the mascot?
Oh.
No, I would not have had a clue with this one, to be honest. I didn't even recognise him.
Lenny the Lion.
No. I mean, the Lions. I think the Lions, right? I think that's fair to assume. Yeah. Nick?
Who is the Detroit Lions mascot? That's just the hardest question. I don't know. I don't know his name. I'll be honest with you. It's totally eluding me my whole life.
We got him. 1953 didn't get him, but the mascot got him. His name is Rory, and he is indeed a lion.
Yeah, the Lion Roar, the Roar of the Den. Right, okay. Do you know what? That's how seldom in my lifetime we've had a reason to have our mascot up and down the field going, here comes Rory, looking a little bit like he's drinking again. You know?
Well, they never used to have the mascots in the paper, did they?
Aye.
And finally, jersey number. Right. So what is the jersey number of centre Frank Ragnow?
Oh, I'm going to get this wrong. 52 or 54. 52.
Nope, B-Dog.
72.
Ooh.
70, isn't it?
It is 77.
Yes, isn't it? Oh, man. Don't ever let this go out live. I'll get shot by my wife.
Final bonus question, Nick.
See ya, Weston. I'm really, really sorry. I'm so sorry, darling. And yes.
Oh, dear. Oh, we didn't mean to get you into trouble, mate. Right, final bonus question.
Still up and Rory. Do you know, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't moved on from the Lion because I thought to myself, my goodness, that's like the 6-year-old question and I should really know it. And I just thought, I can't even remember the last time I saw Rory.
Well, I didn't want to go for something obvious like Goff or St. Brown or something. I thought linemen. Linemen are the ones, aren't they? Right. Final bonus question, really quickly, just to make me feel stupid. How many Super Bowls has Dan Marino won?
1.
Ah, I said 1. See, I told you.
Dan Marino hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Right?
He's the greatest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl in my eyes.
Well, I don't know. Drake May hasn't won one.
What was the answer?
0.
None.
0. Man alive.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had it either.
Is that just... Do you think I've got selective memory here from Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
Because in Ace Ventura... No, seriously. In Ace Ventura, he's got a Super Bowl...
Yeah,
he's
that's
got a
crazy,
Super Bowl
right?
ring, and he also comes on at half-time to after being freed from... Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Who'd have
So
thought?
that scares me about the power of social media nowadays. I've reinvented history. I can see Dan Marino coming on with the dolphin inside the pitch for some reason. Yeah.
It's the Mandela effect, isn't it? Maybe
It is, yeah,
everyone.
maybe it is the Mandela effect.
Maybe you did win one, and they've just took
Right.
it off.
Well, it's been lovely to be your guest this evening, gentlemen.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
We really, really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you
I'll
very
watch
much.
the rest of the show. Okay.
Aye.
And yeah, we'd be more than happy to have you back. We'll get
100%.
some more teams out the way, but it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you
Aye,
very
thank you
much for
very
your
much,
time.
God bless you. See you guys. Bye.
And thanks a
See you
lot,
very
mate.
much.
See ya. Right, B-Dog, what do you think of that, Mr. Weston?
He was a great guest, great guy. Love to have him on.
Yeah, he kind of knows a lot about a lot, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%. He's, like you say, he's been playing the sport 30, 40 years, like involved in this sport 30, 40 years, so there's very little he'll know.
Yeah, I mean, personally speaking, for me, I've watched it for a long time, but the first time I played, 3 years ago, maybe.
I think it'll be.
Didn't have a clue really what I was doing, and that guy will teach you things that you don't even notice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you'll probably be exactly the same. Yeah, we were chuffed to have him on, and I think we both kind of eyed him as the first guest, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so again, thank you very much, Nick.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your time, mate. On to the news and a little bit of a QB rookie roundup. Yeah, so news. Matt Milano is out. He's been took out of Bills practice. I think it's like a muscle tear or something, bicep tear. So I think he's going to have surgery on that, and we don't know when he's going to be back.
No.
What's we got? Oh, yeah.
Oh, the big one.
No, the big one I want to talk about is Mr. Matthew Judon.
Yeah.
Now, this is upsetting to me. It's upsetting to me not because I'm shocked, because I had a little bit of an argument with a fellow Patriots fan on Twitter a while ago. I mean, you're talking April.
All right.
And I said, if he's not going to sign a deal, we may as well get something put in. And we'll see where it takes us, because we're building.
Yeah.
We're building for the
yeah.
future. He's 32.
Aye.
We may as well get something whilst he's
Oh, yeah,
he's
I agree.
worth getting something
I
for.
agree there.
The problem is, I don't really think we got something for him. We got a third round pick, so the Patriots from the Falcons, third round pick, Matthew Judon the other way. For me, I think just give him the 10 million or something he was after for 1 year, just to have a little bit of pressure coming from the defensive line, because otherwise we have none of it. The offensive line's a joke. So it would have been nice because Barmore's out as well.
Ah, yeah.
Christian Barmore out, blood clots, so we don't know when he's going to be back. I just don't know where the pressure's going to come from for us. One thing I was thinking, and I don't know if you would take the same thing as me or if you think it's even possible, Sam Reddick, the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
He's currently sitting out. He's not even played a game. So Hassan Reddick for the Jets, currently sitting out, wants a new deal. They've traded for him. I'm thinking with a view to sign a new deal and just not give him one. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But is a guy that maybe you go after?
I mean, like you said, if you got rid of Judon, you got a third. Like, you look at him, he's 32 now, and like you said, you don't really think you got anything with a third, but I think a third for a player of that age is pretty decent.
Well, yeah, I half agree, but for me, we've been in for guys, Calvin Ridley's. You know, we talked about Brandon Ayuk last week.
Yeah.
Just chuck Judon in the deal.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that second round pick that you were going to offer for. I mean, from all accounts, that Ayuk one got accepted. He didn't want to go, but start of the summer there, the Calvin Ridley one.
Yeah.
Maybe you chuck Judon in there and something gets done. There's other guys in the league that, you know, I'm sure would benefit from having. Maybe you chuck a Judon in there and
spice up the deal.
You know, we're rosy, but yeah, I can't help but be disappointed. He's one of my favourite guys. I think if you speak to any Patriots fan, he's widely regarded as probably our best player at the minute. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but you know, good luck to him. And he did say that he wanted to retire with us, which is even more upsetting because they just wouldn't give him the money. No. Which again, I had to just give him a year. But hey ho, here we are. All right, Cowboys.
Yes.
They've been bolstering the O and the D line.
We have. We've obviously picked up Cooper Beebe in the draft and Tyler Guyton for the left tackle to replace Tyron Smith, who was obviously with us for a decade or over a decade, I think it was. Still got Marsley Smith on that defensive line. Hopefully he'll now fill in. And obviously we just traded to the Giants for what was his name? Was it Hankins?
I do not know, mate.
I can't remember off the top of my head now, but that just happened today, didn't it? I think that was was it a fourth or a fifth rounder for him? I think that's going to help a little bit, and obviously we've still got some deals of ourselves that we need to start signing, really.
Yes, big one. Mr. Lamb.
Mr. Lamb.
We spoke about this last week. I was being very, I'd say, just hoping for a miracle.
Yeah, you
asking
were.
the chances of maybe the Patriots getting him. But, you know, the time's going on and Jerry needs to put his hand in his wallet.
He does at this rate, doesn't it? Because, like you've said, there's only, we're coming up for 3 weeks before the start of the season, if that 3-4 weeks. He's not training, you know. I mean, I know he had that relationship with Dak last year, but like you've said, you know, every day wasted is a day less practice.
Yeah, it's for any guy coming into the season off the back of nothing. Yeah, you know, it takes something away from you, surely. I mean, I know these guys are like the top of the level when you talk about CeeDee Lamb, but if you're going into the season based on nothing, there's got to be a bit of stiffness.
Oh, that has to be.
You know, ring rust, so to say, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's really interesting. And look, I think that the chances are it gets done. What was interesting was Jerry it went from we're not in a rush to sign it. CeeDee Lamb tweeted something like a crying laughing emoji. LOL. And then Jerry Jones was, "Oh, come back, we miss you," you know. And I don't know. I don't know if they're just kind of playing chicken a little bit.
I think they're both. It's sort of like a Mexican standoff in it at this point, because obviously Lamb wants to be paid, if not the best, you know, close to that Justin Jefferson kind of range. And I mean, from last year alone, he deserves. You know,
well, that's it. So we talked about this last week. Jefferson's 28 million a year or 30 or something, somewhere around that mark. You pay that CeeDee Lamb, don't you?
Oh, you would. I mean, I know it's difficult when you look at it. Obviously, Dak's in his last year. You know, is he going to want to keep Dak? Dak's now 32, I believe, off the top of my head, 31, 32. And then Parsons, obviously, he's going to be looking for a new deal as well. So you've got three of these players that are arguably top 5 in their positions. You know, and
that's it, isn't it? And you talk about having 3 or 4 of those guys. You build a team around 3 or 4 of those kind of guys, don't you?
Oh, 100%.
So, you know, sell the house, get the deal done, and make it work with guys like that.
I think it needs to be done. Like,
you talk about Micah Parsons, running back.
yeah. 23 touchdowns in 17 games when he was in high school.
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't look bad. I don't think you see the clip.
Yeah, as I saw, I've seen the clips. Yeah, I think he's just enjoying himself there. You know, he's just enjoying football. It's a bit of training. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's no chance that he goes out there and gets any snaps at running back. Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
I would never say never.
Yeah.
We've seen Dante Ripo at running back. You know, you never know when something might come out of that little playbook.
They're not chancing a guy like that to play that many snaps. I'm sorry.
Who knows? He might have a jump pass in him yet.
Yeah, all right then, mate. Right, rookie watch. Who took your fancy? But
I think
rookie QBs, I should say.
Yeah, I think there was 3 guys really that really stood out to me this week.
Yep.
After the playout preseasons, I think one was obviously McCarthy.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I got a little bit of stick on our Instagram page. Did you see this?
I didn't know.
Oh, so what I was doing was I was just commenting on as many posts as I could, just to, you know, maybe someone will follow us and maybe someone will come over and listen to us.
Yeah.
So I'll just comment, and I put a comment on. It was a video of McCarthy's touchdown with a bomb, right? So I was like, he's gonna have the best rookie year of all the quarterbacks. And at first, guys were like, oh no, I think it might be him. Well, then obviously he went down, didn't he?
Yes.
Unfortunately. The amount I've had since then is, oh, not anymore, mate, crying, laughing faces, or are you dumb? Well, no, obviously I put that out before you got injured, didn't I? But yeah, it's a bad one. I think he's officially been ruled out
for the season. He basically said he'd been redshirted for the first season, isn't it? It was his meniscus, wasn't it? In his knee? So
it's unfortunate.
I mean, it's not like they said. It's not. I think they haven't said it's not fully done. But I think they've said obviously they're going to sit him out, get him healthy for next year. He's still going to sit and learn behind some people and have that extra year. Obviously, when he was at Michigan, it was a very run heavy offense.
Yeah.
So I was going to learn to let loose a little bit and then start spinning the rock. So I think that'll be good for him.
Yeah, I mean, he spanned the rock, 11 for 17, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Yeah, that pick was it not his first or second play?
Yeah.
I think that's just jitters. You know, after that, you know, some good passes, some good touchdowns, some good reads.
I think we've seen a lot of what I was saying last week about the offense that he's going into. He's ready for him to just slot into it. I mean, I'm not just going to toot my own horn and say, haha, I was right, because the guy's played 1 preseason game. But the way the Vikings operate with throwing the ball seems perfect for a guy that's accurate with it.
Oh, yeah.
He's not got the strongest arm in the world. He's not going to laser it down the field, but he's going to be accurate with it when he has to be, and he knows how to look after it. And, like I said, 11 for 17, 188 yards.
Which was
not a bad start.
It was the most passing yards out of any rookie.
Well, yeah, there you go. And, it's unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing him play.
I was looking forward to him seeing play.
There was one point last year when I was accepting the fate that we were going to trade back and probably pick up JJ McCarthy, and I don't think I'd have been too cross.
No.
I mean, I'm happy we've got Drake May and Joe Milton we'll probably speak about, but yeah, unfortunate for McCarthy, and hopefully he's back before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Right, who else we got? Who else we played?
I was impressed with Penix.
Yes, yeah.
I think he looked the most comfortable in the pocket out of any rookie QB.
I would go as far as to say you are right.
Yeah. I think he didn't panic at all. A couple of his passes, you know, bit short, bit high. Obviously, going to get that with most rookie QBs, but I think his comfortability in the pocket was leaps and bounds above any other player, any other rookie in the QB.
Yeah, I agree with you, to be honest. And in terms of natural ability, this is one of the guys that it was only really his injury history that took him out of being one of them top guys, in my opinion. But yeah, it seems like happy injury wise, and yeah, his arm and his play overall was never going to be an issue.
Oh no, not at all. He had what was it? It was the 41-yard pass. Was it to Chris Blair? I think that was really good. Just his reads as well. He was quite quick. I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, like you said before, you kind of came out straight off the bat, looked comfortable, moved the ball down the field. Wasn't struggling to get the ball downfield kind of thing. He looked like he'd been playing there, well, more than just a pre-season. He kind of looked like he was just ready to be out there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because a lot of people had raised eyebrows when they took him. So is he going to play sooner than we think? Because obviously Cousins has just signed a massive deal with them. But, what have they signed him for?
I think it was one of those, like, they got Cousins, obviously, what was it, 4 years, 180 million.
Yep.
He's just come off, he tore his Achilles last season, so obviously that's an issue. Same as with Rodgers, this will be the year for them to both see what happens. Obviously, I think Kirk's 36 as well.
Yeah, getting on.
So he's getting on. I think, what was it, the first year was, he got 90 million for the first year. Was it 110, something around that? So he got the majority of it in his first year. So I think we've had a discussion about this in the past where we were saying, is it a case of he sits behind Cousins for a year, they pay the majority of his money to him, and then maybe Penix comes in and Cousins takes a little seat back? Yeah,
it's maybe signed a multi-year deal, but really it's just a year deal. But yeah, it remains to be seen. But yeah, like we said, he doesn't look too far off just slotting in there. And
not at all. Like you said, he looked comfortable. It's just nice to see it. It's just nice to have more than one left-handed passer in the league as well. I think the left-hand throws, it's not something that you get to see all the time.
Yeah.
It's just one of those like seeing a unicorn in the sea. It's just something you don't see that often.
Well, it's Michael Vick II.
Oh, maybe so.
So the Falcons, 16 completed passes, 9 of them from Penix. So over half of their passes.
Yeah.
He did have more snaps. Nathan Rourke, who came from the Patriots, had 13. Well, he was 3 for 13. Penix 9 for 16, and Taylor Heineke 4 for 11.
Yeah.
Penix 104 yards again, solid.
It was, yeah. I really did like the look of him, and the last guy that I really liked the look of was Bo Nix.
Yes, I agree with you again.
I thought when he scrambled out at the right time. I think his decision making was 3-step drop, and it hit his receiver. And he had one good roll out to the left where he hit, I believe it was Sutton, down the sideline. That was a good ball.
Yeah.
And obviously his touchdown to Mims, that was a very quick RPO into the flats that I thought, that guy looked ready.
Yeah, this is another guy, though. When you look at his college film for Oregon, wasn't he? He was at Oregon. Again, not particularly the strongest arm, but nothing wrong in terms of, mechanics or...
football IQ.
Accuracy, really. Yeah, football IQ, I think, definitely. But he is one of the older rookie quarterbacks as well, isn't he? He does have a little bit more experience in his bag. But I think there's a lot to be said about how strong the quarterback class was this year. Yeah. Because there's guys like that are that far down the board. A lot of people didn't think Knicks would go in the first round.
No.
And, I think you're going to see a lot more out of this QB rookie class than other years, purely just because of how strong the class was.
Like we said then, I think, what was it, it was 6 out of the first 12 picks were all QBs.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show that this class was ridiculously strong.
Yeah, the QBs themselves, but then there's the receivers that played with the quarterbacks going in the first and second round as well. It kind of all comes from that strength in throwing the ball in college last year. Bo Nix 15 for 21, which just under 75% is not to be sniffed at, is it?
Not at all.
125 yards, 1 touchdown, which was zipped in there, to be fair.
It was very good. It was a really good, like I said, the play action or the RPO, whichever kind of way they ran it, was phenomenal, just to get it into that tight window as well.
Yeah, I think there was a DB coming down through it where only his guy could catch it.
Yeah.
Ideal. Just to complete the numbers for the Broncos, Jared Stidham 4 for 7, Zach Wilson 10 for 13. Bo Nix with the majority of the snaps and the majority of the completions.
Yeah.
The only touchdown, Jared Stidham threw the only pick. But yeah, again, Bo Nix really, really good.
He did impress me.
So we may as well talk about my guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about your guys.
Right. So Patriots, it was the first preseason game. Carolina we played. Drake May, everyone was hyped to see him.
Yep.
Didn't really get to.
No, didn't get to see him that much at all.
I think he had one drive, and then they took him out, but I think they are protecting him.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people guessing whether he's going to play this season. Is he either definitely not, or he definitely is. I think there's no in between. So yeah, what was he? 2 for 3, 19 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a screen pass that was like third and long, and that got there, so that makes up most of the yards. And yeah, like you said, it was little dump offs. They had one crosser over the middle, threw it slightly too high, I thought, but again, if it wasn't raining so heavily, I think that the receiver could have come down with the ball. But yeah, I'd like to have seen more from him, but everyone's going crazy over Joe Milton.
They are, yeah. Everyone is really loving this 6th round pick, like, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, when you look at a guy like that with I think he threw the ball the fastest out of all the rookies.
Oh,
threw the ball the furthest. You know, he can move in the pocket. He can scramble. It's giving you a little bit of Cam Newton vibes.
This guy flicks the ball 60 yards
Yeah.
without trying. It's crazy. I mean, I rolled my eyes a little bit last week over the Patriots fans that we want Joe Milton, Drake May sucks, and I'm still rolling my eyes, and I'm not like, just shut up, you know, but it was exciting. And like you said, he did have a little bit of Cam in him. The play where he rolled out of the pocket, there was intense pressure. He made a guy miss, rolled out right, made 2 guys miss, came all the way across the left-hand side of the field. And yeah, made positive yards, made the first down. Really good awareness, pocket presence.
Yeah.
But the touchdown pass, so we're on mirrored out and ups. One high safety, the safety takes it to the right hand side, so the out and up on the left hand side, breaks 3, and what we were just saying there before, he zips the ball in no time. Absolutely no time, and it goes for a long touchdown. And I get it, people are excited and people are going crazy, but look, it's preseason.
Yeah.
The guys that you're playing against, a lot of them won't even be on a team in a month's time. Just calm down a little bit, you know, calm it just a little bit. Yes, it's exciting and I get it, but let's just calm it. Let's go over the numbers a little bit. We said Drake Mays was 2 for 3. Joe Milton, he was... Give me a second.
Joe Milton was
4 for 6, 54 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, 54 yards, most of them came in the
deep ball.
Yeah, the deep touchdown. But he did have one that I was concerned about, which was a flat. It was like an out. And again, he threw the ball. Nothing wrong with the direction where he threw it, but the read was wrong. He threw it to his guy on the out. DB saw it, dropped in, and again, if the weather wasn't so bad, it would have been an easy pick 6, I reckon. But other than that, yeah, you can't really complain. Accurate with the ball, good pocket presence. Yeah. He was good, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a little bit early to be Team Joe Milton over Team Drake May.
Well, yeah, I think it's one of those things, isn't it? People saw this 12 years ago when the Redskins picked up Robert Griffin III, and then Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, you know, people are already comparing it to that straight away.
Yeah, and it is that, and this is the thing Si was saying to me. He's like, worst case scenario is we get RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, I get it, but I don't want that. I want, we've picked a 3rd overall pick
QB,
that's got all the weapons to be a top class quarterback. I want to put time into developing him, and I want him to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm a fan. I want us to win. If it happens that Joe Milton ends up starting and we start winning games, yes, my loyalty to the team and not a player.
Oh yeah.
But I think let's just calm down a little bit.
Yeah, there's still 3 more preseason games yet to get that sorted and get that decision made.
Right, picks number 2 and number 1 overall.
Yeah,
a lot of weight on their shoulders.
There is indeed.
We've seen a little bit more of them than we did Drake May.
We did indeed. Yeah, not too many snaps more, but we did see them a little bit more. I think we'll start off with the number 1, obviously, Caleb Williams again. I think he very similar to Penix, looked quite comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
he went through his reads quite well. Obviously, he had that dump off to DeAndre Swift, which went for
Yeah.
42 yards. Again, that's just something that a lot of QBs would get, because obviously the pressure's in his face. A lot of QBs would be sacked or trying to roll out, trying to get away from it. But he takes the contact, just flicks his wrist over the D tackle's head, and Swift
It's a nice little flick, to be honest, isn't it?
It is. It's really nice. Yeah, I think that's one of those things where, obviously, a lot of people say college football and the NFL is a completely different experience. But I think the way he just did that on one of his earlier plays just goes to show, like, this guy's confident. He's comfortable.
Settles him down a little bit as well, though, doesn't it?
Does.
Because I think one of the concerns for me was, I mean, you see a lot of footage from training camp and stuff, and you don't know how early it is and how long they've been running the play and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that you go, oh, yikes. But yeah, like you said, he came out, looked after the ball. You could tell that the offense knew it was his team already.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a rookie out there. He kind of, the guys all responded to him in the huddle, and you know, you could tell that he was quite comfortable just leading the team. And I think so far, I mean, again, just pre-season, but yeah, he looks every bit of that.
He had that good roll out to the right, pump fake the defender, and hit Cole Kmet for 26 yards. I think again that's a good play, because most rookies would either overthrow that or they'd underthrow it and it'd be picked off or it'd go out of bounds. But I think to put it just into the place for his tight end, just to jump and make a catch was really good.
Yeah.
And obviously you mentioned number 2 overall pick, Jaden Daniels, obviously 2 for 3, 45 yards. Most of that came from the deep pass to Diami Brown, which, funnily enough, if you watch footage from his first pass in college football, it's the exact same route and the exact same
Is
amount of
it?
yards. Yes, when he was at Arizona State.
Oh, I'll have to have a look. Oh my god, I didn't know that.
42 yards, right hand side, go route, and I really think when he got there and he did that read option, I think he read that end really well, and that wasn't even his full speed going into the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of, it was like a walking almost.
Yeah, it was just a walking jog. He had a good block obviously on the outside that took out the outside linebacker was coming to crash in, but you could just see he was reading the whole game.
I mean, this is his thing coming out of college into the draft, and then coming out of the draft. What's he going to be like with his legs? Did we see a lot with his legs, or was it kind of more sticking to the playbook how it's drew up?
I think it was a little bit more sticking to the playbook.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I can't remember how many rushing yards he had off the top of my head, but I think it was, I think it's one of those where he's not going to be able to run around like he did at LSU.
Well, this was the concern coming in, wasn't it?
But I do think he did look comfortable. His pass on the deep ball was immaculate, and I think that's one of those where I think he might have had arguably the toughest pass into coverage for a catch. It was just over the DB. It was where it needed to be, but I think Daniels looks comfortable, and obviously that offense has been waiting for someone to come in and take charge for a few years.
Yeah, I think for what it's worth, 1 rushing attempt, 3 yards. So not really anything on there.
And a TD with those.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Can't ask for more, can you, from 1 rush?
Yeah, well, yeah. Like you said, 2 for 3 passing, 45 yards, which was at 22.5 yards
a pass.
So you can't really complain with that.
No.
Going to Caleb Williams' stats for the day, 95 passing yards, over 4 for 7. 4 for 7 passing, 95 yards. So again, not too many snaps, but this is a team that's come out and said he's starting. So they're not gonna risk that.
No. I think that's most of the rookie QBs. I mean, Spencer Rattler, when he was at the Saints, he had that 8-yard rushing touchdown. That was pretty good.
That's right, yeah, because I was kind of keeping an eye out for, the big guys, the round 1 guys, but last minute today I was looking at all the highlights, kind of going back over all the games, and completely forgot about Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
So again, didn't look horrendous.
No, not at all. And obviously there was also David Leary. For the Ravens, he had a QB sneak, which he scored. He's a completely different quarterback to Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Lamar Jackson is that mobile guy, as we've all seen for the last few years. Leary's quite tall. I think he's 6'5", I remember off the top of my head. He sits in the pocket quite comfortably, and he looked pretty good. And then obviously there was Michael Platt, as well, who the Green Bay Packers picked up.
All right, okay, yeah.
As well, he picked them up in the 7th round, I believe.
Good work, mate. Very, very good. Good job, because I didn't look at any of those guys. Quickly to round up, the Rams beat your Cowboys 13-12.
Yeah, that was a hard game to watch. I'll tell you what, staying up for that was
Four picks and didn't manage to win.
No, yeah, it was. I think Lance, the defense played really well. Stetson Bennett came back he was out last year, so he came back and this was his first proper game, and he made some good passes, but obviously the defense played really well for those 4 picks, but it was just on offense. It was just struggling to. Lance was. You can tell he hasn't played a game since 2022.
Yeah,
he's sitting in the pocket, holding the ball a bit long, trying to find the right read too late into the read.
Really quick to just get on his bike and run with it.
A few times, yeah. I mean, he did have a few good ones, a few good scrambles for some yards, but I think there's still a little work there to be done with Lance, but I think that first game was just to get the jitters out, because like I said, last time he played, it was 49ers 2022.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. Broncos beat the Colts, Saints beat the Cards, Seahawks beat the Chargers.
Yep.
Haha, Dill. Titans beat the 49ers, Jags beat the Chiefs, the Bucks beat the Bengals, Green Bay, the Packers beat the Browns.
Yep.
The Vikings beat the Raiders.
They did, yep.
The Bears hammered the Bills.
They did just a little bit.
Yep. The Jets beat the Commanders. The Eagles beat the Ravens. The Texans beat the Steelers. And the Dolphins beat Atlanta.
They did.
Again, preseason doesn't really mean anything, but it's nice to see some of the guys that, because I like spotting a guy in preseason, and then when he's doing well in the season, going, oh yeah, like I remember this guy, and I think. If you take anything from it, take that from it. Some of the younger guys.
Like you said, there has been a few gems. I mean, a couple of the rookie running backs as well that were taken later on, like Jalen Wright at the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He gave you that sort of, A-chain from last year sort of picture. Like, can he just fit in now? And now they've got 3 backfields with Moser, A-chain and Wright.
Well, they're just like molds of each other, though, aren't they? It's just like the same running back. Was twice, but seemingly 3 times now.
3 times now. It's you can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Well, the quarterback stinks, so it's they need it.
Well, that is a bitter.
Mate, you'd lead the NFL in passing yards if you had Tyreek Hill. I'll die on that hill. Take Waddle and Hill away from him, and he'll stink. I'm telling you.
Oh, that is some brave words.
No, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
We got if I see McCarthy being the best QB as well.
Well, he was until he went down. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's get a move on.
We'll move on to what do you want to do first?
I don't know what you're feeling. Do you want to get some predictions out the way?
No, let's stick with the format we've got, and we'll move on to our top receivers. Obviously, quarterbacks last week. Let's find some receivers to go with them. Now, I done best quarterbacks last week, and you done favourite quarterbacks. So I thought that was better. So I'm going to do favourites as well this week.
We'll stick with favourites. I do like favourites because I'm thinking maybe we try and build a team with our favourite quarterbacks.
Yeah, and then we'll see whose team is better.
Cause I think when you go best, everyone else ends up with the top same 5, same 10 receivers.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Right, so currently,
go on. I'll go for my number 5. My number 5 favourite receiver currently is Stephon Diggs.
Oh, right, okay.
I didn't. You done the same?
No. Come on. Don't expect to see any Bills, Jets, or Dolphins in my thing. I had Allen last week, but only because my list was the best ones.
Yeah.
Don't expect any of them in my favourites because it's not going to happen.
You'd take Allen in a heartbeat.
Now, with it being the favourite, we've got Allen 2.0 just waiting in the wings, so we'll be fine. I'm telling you. You're going to see some favouritism with favourites.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I've gone Diggs. I think obviously he's 31. He's just gone to the Texans, and that offense now is ridiculous. Obviously.
Yeah, it's been proven for years, isn't he?
Yeah, when he was at Minnesota, with the Minneapolis Miracle, it's time at the Bills. Just his tenacity to not go down on contact and fight for those yards. Yeah,
he had one against us last year for the Bills. Shrugged off 2 tackles at the same time and walked into the end zone.
Yeah.
Like you said, quick, beefy. Good pick.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
One that you
My
go
fifth favourite receiver currently is a guy that people probably haven't even heard of. Is Javon Baker. You know who Javon Baker is?
Yeah, he was your, I think was it the 3rd or 4th round pick this year?
4th round, I believe. I'm not actually sure. I think it was 4th round. I could be wrong. You know, only a few people listen to this point anyway, so don't worry about it.
You only go back in the archives.
No, this is a guy that straight out of the draft, so the media are on a phone call with him.
Yeah.
So he's talking in his car, he's just on his phone, and the media are on with him. And he says, "Yep, yeah, I'm happy to be a Patriot. Bring your popcorn. I'll make people in wheelchairs stand up."
Ooh.
I mean, if that isn't what you want in your wide receiver, man,
Oh yeah.
the guy's awesome. And do you know what? In camp, because we also drafted Jalen Polk,
Yeah.
and he was meant to be that big body outside guy, which he is, don't get me wrong. But I think it's 3 or 4 occasions now that Javon Baker's went up over the back of DBs, picked the ball down and got an extra 10, 15 yards. So he's looking really, really good. Yeah, I'm kind of excited with him. And it's a long time since we've had a receiver with that kind of arrogance.
Yeah.
You know, we've not, probably Moss again was the last one.
You know, Edelman had a little bit in him, but not as.
It was kind of more respectful and
Yeah.
wasn't like, I'm brilliant. You know, he kind of worked hard to be as good as he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th. Who you got 4th?
4 is Jamar Chase.
Ah, good pick. Yeah, I don't mind Jamar Chase at all.
I like him. You know, he went to LSU. You know, teammates with Burrow, both got picked up in the draft. You know, and again, just another phenomenal deep threat.
Yeah.
Just his ability to get open. He's not a big guy. You know what I mean? He's not one of these
No.
big guys that's gonna fight you all the time. But I do think he's got that fight in him. He's got that speed. He's got great catching, great route running.
Yeah, I think he suffered last year from
Yeah.
Burrow going out.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're in a position that one of the quarterbacks drafted that year says you've got to go and get this guy, I think you must be something about you. And I'm sure the Bengals are thankful for Joe Burrow sitting that.
Oh yeah, they've got to be.
And time and time again, they're thankful for that. So yeah,
yeah.
I think that's a really good pick, to be honest. I think he's going to have a miles better year this year than he did last year.
Oh yeah.
Purely because of Burrow.
Well, that's it. He's got better and better every year. So.
Yeah, he has. He's just completely unplanned segment. He is thinking about sitting out of practice. Have you seen this?
I haven't. No.
So there's rumours that he's going to start. Well, no, sitting in. It's called. So he's going to practice but not participating.
Right.
2 years before his rookie deal's up, he's wanting a new deal.
Well, you can't blame him, can you?
Yeah, one to watch. Maybe next week or the week after. We'll be talking about it in depth. Who knows? 4th favourite, Pop Douglas.
Pop Douglas.
Again, Patriots guy. Yes, I know. Kev Boroff.
See what they
But
get.
if it's favourite ones, man, I'm going to pick favourite ones. No, this is a guy last year. His rookie year, rookie out of Liberty, I think, wasn't really highly thought of coming in. Played straight off the bat for us last year, and he was kind of one of the small glimmers of hope in our offense last year. Again, by no means a big guy, kind of more a slot receiver, but just agile, quick, you know, nippy, change of directions, electric, route running's getting better and better, strong hands. This is a guy that when you watch the Patriots for so long and you're used to the Welkers, Amendolas, Edelmans, this guy is you're going, is this the next one of these really good slot receivers? And I think if you speak to any Patriots fans, this will be a guy that is at least in the top 3 favourite players because Patriot fans love him.
Oh yeah.
So. Number 3.
Top 3. I have gone Mike Evans.
Ah, right, okay.
I really like Mike Evans. I think, what is it now? Is it not 10 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons?
Yeah, crazy.
Like, you can't not think of a guy like that when you think top receivers.
No.
You know, like this size alone, 6'4", 6'5", still got a bit of speed about him. Not all just about strength and height. Still got a bit of speed about him. And I think last year with Baker Mayfield, he really shone a bit more. Even though he was 30, I think Baker really adapted to him really well.
Yeah,
some good balls over the middle, some good deep balls, and I think this year it's just going to be a bit better for him. I think he might even do better than he did last season. I think he might even reach double digits again.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why not.
Yeah.
You're saying about the consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Some of his quarterbacks haven't been. Yes, he's had Brady and he's got Mayfield now, but Jameis Winston. Did he have Jameis Winston? Fitzmagic, I think he had.
Right.
But I mean, he's never had a consistently really good receiver for the 10 years that he's had.
Oh no.
Yes, he's had Brady for a year or two, but to have 1,000-yard seasons every year is
testament.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, another big body guy, quicker than he looks.
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh yeah.
Strong hands, and he's a guy that if you throw it up to him, there's a good chance it's going to come down with it.
Oh yeah, easily. Go on, then we'll go with your number 3.
My number 3 is CD Lamb.
Oh.
Yeah, so kind of all the reasons that Nick was saying about before. Absolute nightmare to play. He's one of them guys that you go in and you're fearing. You're kind of doubling the guy. You know, you're going in and you know that if we want to get anything out of this game, you have to stop this guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and similarly, again, as what I said, he looks like he's gliding. He doesn't look like he's really moving, but he burns you in no time. He's changing direction. He's route running. I think when you talk about building an elite receiver, there's not really much you change about CD Lamb to build an absolute elite receiver. And yeah, again, they have to pay him. You know, you've got a guy like that, you have to pay him whatever he asks for. You take it because there's probably 3 or 4 of him in the league, and you're not going to trade for one. No. So while you've got one, pay him.
Oh yeah.
You know. Go on then. Number 2.
My number 2. Tyreek Hill.
I get it. No, don't get us wrong. I do get it.
Yeah, no, I know. Most people think he's just speed.
No, it's not. No,
most people think he's just speed. But again, you watch some of his players. Obviously, Tua through some questionable balls sometimes. But Tyreek, for his size and his speed, he makes plays.
This is what I was saying before. Like, just having Tyreek Hill makes you a better quarterback. Just having that guy makes you a better quarterback.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, like obviously speed off the line beats most people, but I think what a lot of people don't really see and concentrate on is the contested catches that he does win.
He's tough, eh?
Yeah,
like he's tough.
He is, yeah.
If he's running at you, you're not bringing him down easily.
No.
Like he's solid. Like he's not, like you said, he's not the tallest, but that boy's built, eh?
He is, yeah. And
no.
Even like I said with the contested catches, I think he had one where he's coming in between 2 guys making a catch, he's getting tackled. Obviously, he can beat people over the top from some for some blown coverages, but he's not afraid to catch balls across the middle either.
No, he's not.
At his height, that's not something you find a lot of receivers.
Well, I think that's what makes him so successful as well, because he's not just I'm the X. I'm just going to stand on the touchline and run posts or goals. Like you said, he's hitting them crosses and he's coming into where the big boys are in the middle of the field, and he's taking hits there. But he doesn't lose the ball.
No,
no. You know, he gets hit and he doesn't lose the ball. And yeah, like I said before, just the fact that Tua's got Tyreek Hill makes him a far better quarterback purely because of how good of a player he is. Did you see the thing that last year he had a kid every 400 yards?
I did, yeah.
He's not just good at catching a ball, he's good at emptying them as well, apparently.
He's been sitting on that joke for a while. He hasn't even told me that was coming up.
He was on your list. How was I supposed to plan that? Jeez. Oh, God. My number 2, DK Metcalf.
Oh, that is a man in a boys' sport when you look at him.
I love it. He's just a monster, man. He's a monster. You talk about all the things that we've said about all the other guys, quick route running, strong hands, but that man imagine trying to cover that guy. He is a monster.
I mean, even just one player to think about when he were against the Cowboys last year, and you look at him and he's like 6'3", 6'4". You know what I mean? He looks like he lifts weights for a living, doesn't play football, and then just took off at 22 kilometers an hour. And you're just like,
but it's the yards after the catch. So guys are
Yeah.
trying to bring him down, and he's
yeah.
just like swatting them away like fly. The man is an absolute animal.
He is,
I think he's
ridiculous.
pure funny to watch.
Oh yeah,
Like he's actually funny to watch.
it's entertaining as well.
Yeah, he is. What that.
Which is what you
Yeah,
want, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
complete opposite to what Tyler Lockett is on that team.
yeah. I had to have him because I love watching him. He's genuine. He makes me laugh. Like he genuinely
Yeah,
makes me laugh.
yeah.
Watching him is so funny to watch. Yeah, right. Number one, who have you
Number
got?
one, I've got CD Lamb.
Fair enough.
I can't argue, like we said, you know what I mean? There's like 3 or 4 guys in the league that you class as the number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
To me, I think Lamb, for what he does, like we said with Tyreek, you know, you can put him in the slot, you can put him out wide, put him on a reverse. He you know what I mean? He gets blocks. He's not easy to bring down, and just some of the grabs that he makes, like
Yeah.
one-handed grabs, catching across the middle, comeback, sidelines, and his football IQ to see when there's issue in the pocket to move out, like the one that where Dak was on the 4-yard line, rolled out the end zone and hit CD down for 96 yards after CD beat his man. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that you have your number 1 wide receiver for.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak for being a fan of a team with the receiver like that, but like I said before, you're almost pulling your hair out that they have to sign him.
Yeah,
Like you've got to pay a guy like that. We've said it all before, but you've got to pay him. Yeah, my number one's Justin Jefferson, purely because I think he's just the best receiver in the league. Personally, there's never a player that you think he might not come down with the ball. That the one against the Bills, the one had it 4th and forever, and he comes down with the ball in coverage, one hand, double coverage, I think. Yeah, and you know, there's fancy catches, there's one-handed grabs, you know, there's all that, you know, the jewelry and all that thing, but it's like you said about CD, the IQ, he reads the coverages, he knows where the soft spots are. Yes, he's there to jump ball, but a lot of the time he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
If you ever watch a game of the Vikings, you go, oh my God, he's always just wide open because he gets himself wide open. And it's not easy because they're looking at him, they're trying to cover him, they're trying to double him, but he's just that good that he gets himself open. And yeah, he's the best receiver in the league for me.
Yeah, like you said again with the jewelry, you know what I mean, flashy and all that lot. But have you watched the receiver series?
I have.
And it's one thing that stood out for me was when he was like, you know, I'm Justin, but when the chains and everything goes on, I'm Jets. You know what I mean? That's immediately gives me Deion Sanders primetime vibes right there, and that's what you want in your number 1 player on your team. Is you need that. I'm a nice guy, but on that football field, I'm here to do business.
Yeah. Was it Jerry Rice, the 7-Eleven one?
Yeah, yep,
Always open.
Always open, 7-Eleven.
See, receivers are the best, man.
They
Receivers are sick.
You know, they come up with some stuff.
Right, let's go all time.
All time. I'll let you start this time, go on.
Right, so we probably need to push through because we're pushing for time a little bit. All right, number 5. So, again, disclaimer, I'm going for guys that I've watched.
Ooh.
So I'm not just picking guys that I'm just saying because they're well known and, you know, you should pick them. I'm going for guys that I've watched. Again, it's favourites. How can I pick a favourite that I've not watched?
I suppose that's true, yeah. That's fair.
So these are all fairly recent-ish, say, last 20 years. Number 1, Julio Jones, I've got. Number 5, sorry. Number 5, Julio Jones. Similarly to what we were saying about Justin Jefferson then, insane catches, throw it up there, he'll come down with it. Big guy.
Yeah,
big guy, quick, agile, all the same things as we've used to describe all the best receivers. A shame he hasn't won a Super Bowl.
No, I know. Those things,
don't really know what else you can do, but yeah, for me,
second most receiving yards in a game ever.
Yeah, sad to see him getting older. He's kind of getting past the top teams now. I don't think he's actually retired, has he?
Not as of yet.
But yeah, getting on. But yeah.
He's trying though. It's not like he's not trying.
No.
You know, he went to the Eagles last year, had a great shot at winning it. And
well, yeah,
a little bit short, you know.
Yeah, Falcons. Julio Jones is, yeah.
It was a different breed.
Unreal.
It was a different
unreal.
player watching him. Like every defense was terrified of him.
Yeah, unreal.
Right then. So for my number 5, I've gone Michael Irvin.
Oh, right, okay. Cowboys.
Yep, Cowboys.
Yeah,
won 3 Super Bowls. You know, with the triplets and stuff. But it was just a bit, big again, big tough guy. Not as big as I say as Metcalf, but a big tough guy.
Yeah.
And again, some of the grabs, just his attitude towards it. The
Different
playmaker.
time then as well.
Different time. That this kind of stuff wasn't happening every player. There was a handful that were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was flashy. It was cool. And then some of the. The one-handed catches, these days it'll stick to their gloves. In the days he'd be stopping it in the air with his hand and bringing it into his chest to catch it one-handed.
Yeah.
And, just 88, that's just a magical number for the Cowboys. I love it.
I know it's coming.
He thinks he does, but it's not.
I did not. No. Oh, okay, fair enough. Number 4, Megatron.
Yeah.
Again, we spoke about him before with Nick. All the reasons he said. He was a guy that, in a really, really bad Lions team, was insane.
Yeah.
And I said it before, to put up the numbers that he put up in a team that was awful, no two ways about it, awful, is insane, and is another one. It's a shame that he couldn't be in a better team and get more for how good he was.
He loved the city of Detroit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Can't blame the guy for that.
You can't fault that. Yeah, but it's number 4 for me.
And I'll go for my number 4 now. Des Bryant, no, I'm joking. It was Andre Johnson at the Texans.
Oh, right, okay.
I really liked Andre Johnson. Obviously, when I was watching him, and maybe you, like in the last 10, 15 years or so, it was...
That's so left field.
I just really liked him,
Fair
I just thought the Texans team, they had David Carr, and then they had an assortment of QBs all the way through, but Johnson, again, he was the man there. He was their number 1 wide receiver, and he was for years and years, and I just loved watching him play. Again, not afraid, and just making some plays that kept that team with the fan base sometimes.
Damn, fair play. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Number 3, Larry Fitz.
Yeah,
Larry Fitz, man. Carried the Cards for however long. Yeah, absolutely nuts. That is another one. Any ball, he's coming down with it, and talk about run after the catch, nuts as well.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of similarly to Megatron, carried his team, absolutely carried them, and came so close.
He did, yeah.
This was the team that we were forgetting last week, actually, Super Bowl. We were like, who did they beat? And it was the Cardinals.
Cardinals, yeah.
Yeah. Came so close, and unfortunately another one that should have won a Super Bowl and didn't. But
he has some crazy stats though. I mean, the man has more tackles than drops.
I mean, I didn't know that, but okay.
He had more tackles to chase. He chased down more people.
That is than the QBs absolutely he had nuts. That is crazy.
15, 16-year career. That just goes to show how dominant he was.
That is crazy. Damn, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah.
Right, go on then. Who you got?
Number 3, I got Chris Carter.
All right, okay. You're just going to have to take this one.
So Chris Carter played for the Eagles, the Vikings. He was just a route runner. He loved the jugs machine. Obviously, when they were coming in, he was already playing a little bit when jugs machine started coming in, but he bought one himself.
Okay.
And he would just catch balls on his days off. That's all they do. Jugs machine, just catch balls, thousands, hundreds and thousands a day.
Yeah.
And it showed when he played, just some of the catches. He was a great route runner. If a ball hit his hands, it's very rare he drops it. But yeah, Chris Carter, when him and Randy Moss were on the same team, that Vikings team was scary.
We spoke about this last week with Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
That willingness to play and improve and you can't argue with a guy that's trying to better himself all the time, you got
to give that guy respect. I just love him. I think he was about 6'2", 6'3", might not have been the fastest guy out there, but his ability on the route running was phenomenal.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Go on then.
Randy Moss.
Yeah,
Randy Moss. All the reasons we've said over and over again, apart from he's the best one to ever do it, in my opinion. Again, we picked him up for pence, absolutely got him for almost nothing, and another one didn't win a Super Bowl, but he came to us 2007. Him and Brady just broke every record there was, every record there was. 4 touchdowns in a quarter at one point.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy. And you talk about one-handed grabs and things like that. And this man, I mean, there's not many players have it named after them when something happens on a field.
Yeah.
You catch a ball over a defender, you've been mossed.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll do well to watch any football game and someone not say, oh, mossed, or get mossed, or he's been mossed.
Yep.
And I think that speaks absolute volumes because the guy was, and do you know what a gentleman as well.
Yeah.
He had his problems when he was younger, but tell you what, that man has some heart and he's just lovely, and I genuinely absolutely love him. I should have worn my Moss jersey because Welker was 6th on my list as well.
Oh.
I didn't even put Welker in, and I wore my Welker jersey. But yeah, Moss for me, man. I love him. Absolutely love him.
My number 2, I went for Fitzgerald. All the same reasons you did, longevity, ability, just one of those guys, It was never boring to watch him. And no matter what team you support, if you were a Cardinals fan, you love Fitzgerald. If you were the opposing team, you were terrified.
Yeah.
You didn't want, you know what I mean? You were wishing that he'd take a play out.
Yeah, exactly, man. Could not agree more with you. Could not agree more.
And we'll go on then. Who have you got number 1?
Who do you think I've got number 1?
Who do I think you've gone for number 1 of your all-time favourite receivers? Julian Edelman.
Yep. 1,000,000%. You're talking top 3, personally, top 3 favourite Patriots of all time. And we were saying before the eagerness to improve and get better and work hard. This is a guy that was drafted in the nowhere rounds of the draft, day 3. Quarterback. He was when he came out of college. Basically, he couldn't throw, but he could run. We picked him up, and Belichick said to him, "You're not a quarterback, but you are a football player. We just don't know what that is yet." Started off on kick returns, punt returns. Played at DB. I don't know if you remember. He played at DB.
He did.
Yeah,
good players.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the guy could do everything. Slot receiver. Struggled at first when we had Welker, and then when Welker went, he turned into, he was Tom Brady's guy. So that says everything you need to know about him. And all-time favourite moment, the 28-3 game, the catch from Edelman is
across the middle.
Absolutely nuts. It's genuinely the best catch I've ever seen still. And it's not fancy, it's not one-handed or anything like that, but that ball is an inch off the ground, and we're an inch away from losing the Super Bowl. And he goes through 3 guys, catches the ball an inch off the ground, and I honestly love him. I absolutely love him. And you know what? He's pure sexy as well.
Cannot deny that at all.
That guy is damn. If I caught my wife in bed with him, I'd ask to go next. He's one of them guys. Love him. Absolutely love him. Number 1 for you.
Number 1 for me is it's very left field again, like Andre Johnson. Steve Smith Sr.
Oh, I see that, to be fair. Yeah, I don't mind that shout at all.
I thought, in my eyes, he was like a honey badger, in the jungle.
Yeah.
5'9", was on a Carolina team.
Tiny, really.
Yeah, 5'9", but again, built and played like he was 6'7". He wasn't terrified of anyone. Yeah. He always knew. And when you watch some of the balls, again, across the middle, not afraid to make a jump ball. And when someone who's like 6'2", 6'3" safeties are going up for a ball, getting out jumped by him and then stiff armed into the ground by someone who's 5'9", you know what I mean? It just goes to show that this man's playing with heart and anger, and I love it. Yeah. And again, he's got that attitude as I am the best. Yeah. I know who I am. Yeah.
I mean, you say tiny, he looks even smaller than 5'9", but he looks as wide as that.
Yeah.
The guy's built as well.
He's like if you shrunk down DK Metcalf.
Yeah. I mean, he's mint on TV as well, I think.
Yeah.
He's really good.
His personality is great.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Right, B-Dog, really quickly to finish us off, we're going to go back into our division predictions. Yep. Obviously, last week we predicted the AFC and NFC North.
Yep.
we didn't really stray from each other's opinions too much,
No,
other than I
no.
think a couple of teams.
I put the I think I put the Packers second.
Yeah, you put the Vikings last, and I put
did.
them second, and I put Green Bay last. Yeah, but other than that, I think we were pretty much bang on. So
Yeah.
this week, South,
Yep.
AFC and NFC. I'll kick off AFC. I went Texans.
Yep. I've
Yeah.
gone the same. I think obviously adding Stephon Diggs, Joe Milton to this team.
Crazy offense.
Yep, Donnell-
absolutely crazy offense.
Daniil Hunter opposite Will Anderson. You can't pinpoint a weakness in this
No,
Texans team.
no.
I don't think on paper it's phenomenal.
No, you're talking about a team that were there or thereabouts last year and only strengthened.
And that's with a rookie quarterback as well.
Yeah, only strengthened as well. So yeah, they're going to kind of go all the way,
Oh,
and
that's
then
it.
it's only how late into the postseason they make it really. But
yeah.
they're going to win the division in my opinion relatively easily.
Oh yeah.
Second, I've went the Jags.
Oh, I've been the Titans.
Oh yeah.
I have.
Ooh, interesting. I have not. I do not fancy the Titans. But we'll get into that.
I think obviously Will Levis now in his second year. I think they've added Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd. They've still got D Hop. They've added Pollard to the backfield
Yeah,
now
no,
for one-two punch of Spear. Him and Tajay Spears. But yeah, I just think I don't know. I liked Will Levis last year. Not a lot of people did. I mean, obviously, he had the first game, he threw 4 touchdowns, and everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, what's this guy?
Yeah.
Who's this guy? Where's he come from?" And then obviously didn't threw another. I think it was 4 touchdowns in his next few games, but. I think that's just time for him to improve. I mean, one play that I really like from Levis is when he got hit, fumbled the ball, receiver
Got
picked
up
it
and-
chased him down, knocked
Yeah.
the ball out and recovered it. You know, there's
Yeah.
not many QBs in this league that would do that.
It was a hit and all, though,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
hit, yeah. I just think they've got some fundamentals there. Obviously, they've picked up L'Jarius Sneed as well
Yeah,
from the Chiefs,
liked him. I really liked him
so
last
that's
year.
another way
Yeah.
to strengthen that secondary.
Like you said, with them guys on offense, you're going to have a chance.
Oh, yeah.
My concerns were at quarterback, and again, it's not the fact that the by far the worst team. I've got them last, but I just think the other teams I fancy a little bit more for
Yeah.
whatever reason. But yeah, there's every chance that you're right and I'm wrong.
Yeah,
'cause,
well,
you
That's the
you
fun
make,
in this, isn't it?
you make a good argument. Secondly, yeah, I put the Jags.
the Jags.
Yeah, again, I don't think they were too far off it last year. If T-Law cleans up his game a little bit, I think I've seen somewhere where he's got very similar stats to Mac Jones,
Yeah.
and Mac Jones has been ousted
to them.
and to them, yeah. But
Combine them together, you'll have a good QB.
yeah, I think Mac Jones will do well if he gets a shot. I think he'll do well. But I've gone Jags secondly. Ironically, I was and ahhing between the Jags and the Colts.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are going to be good this year. We spoke about it last week. Richardson developing all the time.
Yeah.
JT in the backfield.
Yep.
I mean, they've always got a chance of moving the ball.
Oh, yeah.
But you talk about Pittman at one side and AD Mitchell on the other.
And they've got Joshua Downs as well.
Yeah, and I think, for me, they've got every chance of being probably one of the more improved teams in the league. I think they've got every chance. But yeah, again, I was kind of and ahhing between the Colts and the Jags, but you've got the Jags third. Why?
I've got the Jags third, yeah. Again, I just think it's the same reasons that you've said. I think they have upgraded a couple of. They were very close last year, and obviously now they've picked up Gabe Davis, got rid of Calvin Ridley, who's obviously gone to the Titans. Picked up Brian Thomas, from LSU, who's another, big, tall, quick receiver that's good at catching deep balls. Obviously Etienne's still there.
Probably one of my favourite running backs.
Yeah, Travis Etienne.
Yeah, really
Again, that was another one. Like when the Bengals took Burrow and Chase from LSU.
Yeah.
They took Etienne and T-Law from Clemson.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. There you go.
So when you have that connection there, I think I just think the Titans have a bit more of a shot with some of the new stuff they've got. But I don't put the Jags out one bit. Like I said, this is just opinions, but it was honestly after the Texans, it was too tight for me to call.
Yeah. No, I was kind of at the same spot. maybe I just like the Colts and the Jags more. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, that's kind of where I went as well.
Then you
Texans and then everyone else.
Yeah, and then you've got Titans last, and I've got the Colts.
Yes. Yeah.
I just think, obviously, Richardson's coming back and improving, but again, he only had 4 games last year. Who knows what's going to happen this year? They obviously lost Gardner Minshew. He's gone to the Raiders, so
Yeah.
they got that. They need that backup there. But yeah, I just think, like I said, these 3 teams, it was too close to call in the end. I
Well,
think,
everyone would be rich if everyone could
yeah,
predict them,
that's it.
couldn't they?
Yeah,
You know, everyone would go and stick a couple £100 on it and
Yeah.
everyone would be rich. Yeah. So NFC South, who's winning it?
I've got the Falcons.
Have you? Oh, all right, okay. Go on.
I mean, obviously, picking up Penix, picking up Cousins. Obviously, they've got, by far, I'd say, some of the most athletic athletes in the league. In Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. You know, just those 3 there in those 3 key positions in offense are, you're terrified to go up against them.
Yeah.
And I feel like getting Cousins and Penix is just that missing final piece of an offense
Fair enough. Yeah.
to go with it. You know,
You can't argue with that. I mean, we spoke about it a little bit last week with the athleticism they've got on there. Like you said, that those 3 guys, the kind of smash you in the mouth
yeah,
team, the Bijan's agile, but he'll hit you. Kyle Pitts, big guy to throw to.
yeah.
I think they're not going to struggle moving the ball. I fear the other way.
Yeah.
I think if they come up short, it's going to be defense.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a few like AJ
mean-
Terrell at cornerback, but obviously, yeah, they've got Jesse Bates as well at safety. You know, there's a few names that you can throw out there, but yeah, the defense is definitely, I think, something they're going to look to improve on next year.
I mean, I put them second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who did you put first?
I put the Bucks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I put the Bucks. I think Baker just went from strength to strength last year,
I agree.
and I just think that trend will keep going.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's settled into a team. He's finally got a team that's his own, and yeah, I just fancy them to win it. I mean, I think they kind of won it by default last year, did they?
A little bit, yeah.
They won it last year, didn't they? I think they just won it by default because the division stinks. But yeah, I think it'll be close this year. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I still think the Bucks have got enough, and then the Falcons second.
Oh.
But that being said, Judon,
Yeah.
Matthew Judon now.
Come
I
to
was
the
talking about
Falcons.
I was talking about the defense. Well, the defense. Yeah, who knows? Who have you got second?
I've got the Bucks.
Yep, fair enough.
Me and you've just got those back, the other way around.
Yeah.
We do
I mean,
indeed.
it's close. It's close to call, isn't it?
I know. It's one of those, isn't it? It's just like the last 3 in the AFC for us. It's like pick a name out of a hat and you'll be happy with it.
Yeah. Like I said before, the division's not. It's not that strong that they could all win it, but it's not that weak that they could all lose it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of very, very meh, and whichever team probably gets to 7 or 8 games, they're probably going to take it.
I get that completely.
But yeah, I think teams in this division are going to take wins off each other. I think that there's the potential there that everyone could beat everyone.
Yeah.
And it goes to the cross divisional and cross conference games, and I think teams in that division are likely to get beat against teams out of other divisions.
Have you got third?
I've got the Saints third.
Oh, I've got the Panthers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, this is the one that I was kind of just like, who's going to lose it?
Is that what
And I was like,
angle?
the Panthers probably lose the division. Again, yes, they've added to it in the draft and the off season, but as much as I said last week that I'm a Bryce Young guy, I struggled watching it last year. It doesn't look like it's quite getting there for him. Obviously, he's a smaller guy, and like we said before, a guy that's more mobile in college is not always the same way. And I think a guy like that to just stand in the pocket is going to find it hard. I hope he proves me wrong. He was class at Alabama.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, for me, it was just more who was going to lose it and not who's going to come third.
Yeah.
So I went the Saints. I think probably better than the Panthers.
See, I looked at it the other way. I looked at it as they've added Deontay Johnson, Xavier Leggett. I just saw, he's got Mingle, he's still got Thielen. He's got a few targets there. Obviously Jonathan Brooks as well in the backfield, and I know they've just got rid of Brian Burns as well. That was a big one for them on defense. But again, like with you, I was looking at it and I was just like, who's developed themselves more this off season to give them a better chance?
I mean, I like I said, I hope I'm wrong.
Last number 4 place to talk about. So who's you off for with?
So I've got the Panthers.
Yeah, just like we discussed there, we've got them the wrong way around. I've gone for the Saints.
Yeah, so similar to what we were just saying, I just picked who I thought would lose it, and I just thought the Panthers are probably the worst team in the NFL. I think. I would say they're probably I mean, I know we're not fantastic, but yeah, I probably the worst team in the NFL for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Saints. Derek Carr, he needs to find that sweet spot for himself in the Saints. Obviously, he's still got Chris Olave, Raheem Shaheed, Kamara's now back fully healthy. Alt Perry and A.T. Perry and a few of those players, but I think when I just look at it, you know what I mean? It just doesn't. 10 years ago, when you're looking at Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and those kind of players, now I just sort of looked at the Saints and I was just like, you know what? I think, Cam Jordan's on his way out.
Kamara in the backfield.
I do like Kamara, but again, I think he's getting towards 30 now.
Well, yeah, but
it's
a toss up for me.
You'll never forget that 6 touchdown game he had.
Yeah, I think. Like I said, the team that wins it is likely going to be 8 or 9 games, I think, at very, very most. Mm-hmm. And the guys near the bottom end are going to get nowhere near that. Yeah. Probably 2 or 3, maybe all get one off each other or something. But yeah, I kind of struggle, to be honest. I kind of struggle to pick one. But right, that's our predictions out the way.
Predictions done.
Let's do West next week, and then we'll leave it for East, and we'll see how your Cowboys and my Patriots are going on. But do you have anything else to address, B-Dog?
No.
No?
No, I mean, obviously, please sign Lamb, but apart from that, I've got nothing else to say. That's
fine. Who is playing this week? Obviously just pre-season.
God, I can't remember off the top of my head now.
No, because it matters loads, doesn't it? That's why.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things you check on probably tonight after we've finished recording this.
We actually play tonight, so I get to stay up, edit this, and then watch the Patriots play. We'll play the Eagles. We've had joint practice all week, and
I'm sure that'll be a good game for you.
No, from what I gather, our O-line has been an absolute disaster. So
what are you on about?
But apparently May's going to play.
Oh, a bit more.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Do you like that?
If you got to this point, thank you very much. Please think about subscribing, liking the video, sharing it to all your friends, or if you prefer to just have the audio so you don't have to look at our ugly mushes, we are over on Spotify, the Nerdy Football Lads podcast. Find us over there. Find us on Instagram, Nerdy FL Pod. All the links to everything that's on there, and I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much from me.
Thank you very much, guys.
And we'll see you later.
Right, see you next time, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.